Alright, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. This is one of the trees that I sarcastically called twins when I first repotted them. It's a little over a year ago. I called them twins. It was sarcastic because they didn't really look anything alike. But they were both just kind of boring trees. This one was just, a big, I say trees, these were cuttings that I actually took. These were saw cut cuttings. Once they took, I just realized I had all this trunk here and no movement, nothing going on. So what I did with this one is I took a root splitter and I broke it right in half there. And let's see if we can see it from the other side. I'm going to cut them back today so you guys will be able to see a lot better what I did. And you can see there where I split it right in half. And that was in February. I do have that video. I'll put that link in the description. This side sprouted a bunch of aerial roots. And I think even in that video I said I hope it lives. And I hope maybe one side kind of outgrows the other, because I might just go ahead and cut one off because I wasn't sure I wanted both of them going. But since both of them look so healthy, I'll go ahead and leave them both. I'll leave them both on there for today. I am going to go ahead, like I said, man, give it the good hard cut back. The leaves that are on here, they kind of get that yellowing when they get kind of old. And I have left it for the whole summer and haven't done anything with it. Trying to actually, allow those aerial roots to form and things like that. And there we go. Lots of straight growth. If it was still midsummer, I'd consider getting some wire on it. And I probably could. I mean, it's a ficus that can take it, but some of these branches aren't really long enough for any. I'd wind up having to wrap it up in the aerial roots there. And I just want to make sure it's got the winter time to recover. This side probably would look better if one of these sides was missing. It would just really actually kind of create some taper. This side, if I plan on keeping those aerial roots for a long time, I'm going to leave them on there for now. They may very well dry up over the winter, but if they don't, it'd probably look better if I left both of them on there. And this is just going to be one of those wait and see what happens in the future. Not quite as many buds as the twin has. Kind of surprising because I always the way that they've been growing out there and everything, I've always just kind of looked at this one as being a little bit healthier than the other one. Still plenty on it. There's just as many. They just don't seem to be quite as mature as the other one in that, very few of these are actually turned into leaves. Some of them are actually still just little buds. I'm going to go through and do the same thing and just take out all the obvious parts I wouldn't want to keep. And that should actually help force some of the growth out here to some of these smaller buds that aren't really maturing all that well. Alright, so that'll take about care of these two for a little bit. Probably won't do much to them until spring besides water them. And see how they turn out then. Alright, and then here is the twin. And again, this one was a lot shorter. So what I did with this one is I took and I split it at the bottom. It does not seem to have formed any kind of aerial roots or trying to rebond itself in there or anything like that. It's just open at the bottom. You can see right through it. See right through it there. But you can see it's healthy, growing fine. Instead of growing any kind of extra roots in there, it actually seems to have grown a bunch down here. That will be the first thing I do, is just go ahead and cut them off. That was, I had this out here sitting on the pallet, and it was actually kind of gripping that pallet, kept it from blowing over in Hurricane Ian and everything. It held up well. Again, it's just getting some of the older leaves on there, and you know, haven't pruned it. Well, actually, for both these trees, I say I hadn't pruned it since February. About midsummer, there was one point where there was a couple long branches on both of them. I thought about bringing it in and doing, you know, like a big hard prune and perhaps a wire, but then I realized that because of the experiment, first time me doing anything, I didn't really want to wire them. All I really wanted to do was get that big leggy growth off. So I did just a very quick prune to both of them, but it really, like I said, it wasn't like much. It was just some of the longer shoots. Right now, I'm just gonna come in and get every growing tip. And get some of the legginess off of it. It is ready and could use some wire, but for the same reasons I didn't get any on the twin there, I'm not going to put any on this one yet either. So now this one has that straight up growth there, and I don't really want these two branches all that close together. I'm going to go ahead, cut that off, and I hope that that just kind of takes over and becomes the apex, and I can use all those as branches. Again, really does kind of look like it could use some wire too. But in the interest of the health of the tree and just trying to treat them like twins, just not going to right now. Looks like I had a dowel shoved in there to keep it from closing up on itself. And once I noticed that it was going to stay that way, I pulled the dowel out. Looks like it's accumulated just some like dust and garbage. And I'm just going to pull that out of there. Plus, I was curious to see if that was some kind of root material or what it was. I don't know if you guys, that's going to focus great for you guys or not. It is just some dust and garbage there. Well, that way, if it does start forming some roots, it doesn't have any debris in there to deal with. Or maybe as it gets a little bit bigger, I can kind of use that as some kind of a feature. Get a nice little root spread on it. Well, we'll let this guy regain some health. Alright, and that was October 23rd. And now here we are, November 21st. And amazing backbudding considering the season. Just a couple days short of a month. And this is what we got. And sometimes I do this with my smaller trees, in that you can see all these little buds that are just coming out in the crotches of the branches where you don't really want any. I really wish I had the time and patience to to do this with some of my bigger trees. Not that sometimes just letting them grow hurts anything, but it does help to just put the energy into where you want it. So I'm just going to take out all these lower ones, all the ones growing straight down, all the ones going straight up. The nice part about doing it right now, you don't even, they just pop right off. Not much of a need for tools or anything. Alright, and that took care of all the obvious unwanted growth. I'm sure in the spring there'll be more, but we'll just wait and see.